All right, so a short video on packages. What are they? Why they're great? Why we won't use them? But even though they're super important in industry and in real life. So we're going to learn more about this as we go over the course of the semester. But right off the bat, you're going to be seeing sometimes in NetBeans this package, Hello World in this case, and like wondering, what is this package? The short answer, let's start with the short answer. Package is merely a folder. If you look over here where it shows projects, right? Under project, we have this Hello World project we created. Then under Hello World, it says source packages and libraries. Libraries we're going to talk about later. These are things that we're going to be linking possibly into our project as we need them from that Java SE Development Kit 17. These are all kinds of libraries that we can bring into our project. But our code goes under source packages, and then it will either have a name of a package, which here it does, it's called Hello World, or this will say default package. But in this case, it says Hello World, this little yellow icon, it's a folder. So a package is really just a folder where we find inside it this hello world.java file we just created. What if I wanted to make a program without a package? Let's say I want to make another Hello World project, but with no package. So I would say File, New Project, Java with Ant, Java Application. I hit Next. And here, I'm going to call this Hello World. Now notice when I try to call it Hello World project name, NetBeans says, hey, we already have a project folder that exists with that exact name. So because all of these projects, they're folders saved within whatever higher level folder that you specified. So here I'm saving this into 2290 Spring 23, and I'm trying to save this project name Hello World. That folder already exists. So I tell Java, I was like, you know what? Let's call this Hello World 2. And now Java's satisfied. But how do we get rid of the package? Well, notice down here it says create main class, which is going to be super important, and I'll show you why in just a moment. I'm going to leave that checked. But when I leave that checked, by default, look what happens. Anytime I add up here in the project name any character, Hello World 2A, what happened down here? It put Hello World 2A dot Hello World 2A. If I did BC, right? Whatever the name is up here, it copies that name and it puts it down here on the right side of this little period. You may notice there's a period in there. And to the right side, it copies the project name, character for character, uppercase for uppercase, lowercase, it matches everything. But then on the left side of the period, it takes the exact name and it makes it fully lowercase. What is the package? It's this right here. This is the folder, and I'm basically saying, hey Java, make for me a new project, make a name class, a main class called Hello World 2. I'll get rid of this ABC, and save that new file Hello World 2 inside a folder called Hello World 2 all undercase. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. So this one will have a package again. So sure enough, I have this file, hello world2.java, and we see it is found inside a folder called Hello World 2. Let's make another one. File, new project. Next. We're going to make a lot of these real quick, and then I'll delete them. Hello World 3. So now let's call this whatever I want. On the left-hand side, let's just say I'm going to call this some folder name. So I manually edited it, right? If I come up here and I type in Hello World 3A, again, it automatically changes this below. But you can change it. So I'm going to call this some folder that sounds uber important. And we hit finish. Notice within our new project, Hello World 3A, I didn't delete the A, I have a folder that is called some folder. That sounds uber important. And then I have the actual file itself, hello world 3a.java. So what is a package? This package here is just saying that this entire file is found within this folder. Now, why might that be important? Well, in real life, you're not going to have a single program with, hundreds of thousands of lines of code in one single file. You're going to have dozens, hundreds of lines of files. Dozens, hundreds of files, each of them with thousands of lines. And when you're dealing with these hundreds of files, in theory, you should have a nice organized file structure, similar to what I hope you have on your respective computers. Maybe you have files that are in theory organized. You have maybe a documents folder. Within that documents folder, you have a folder for each of your classes. Within those classes folder, you have a programs folder or a projects folder or a notes folder where you save the notes or an exams folder where you save exam materials, right? You organize and you structure your data that you're saving on the computer. In that same vein, developers, when you're working with dozens and hundreds of files within a single project, you organize them into a structure, a hierarchy of files with many levels, right? And so this is just one level, a file being saved into a folder that is called some folder. That sounds uber important. Now, we can see why packages are super important in practice. I want you to know what they are. But now, with all that said, for our purposes in this intro level beginning OOP course, we're usually not going to be needing and getting the value and benefit from packages. In fact, they're going to cause us some pain every now and then. So as a result, we'll normally not even use them. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to make a new project. Let's call this one Hello World 4. And notice what I'm going to do below. I'm going to delete what's to the left of the period, which is the package name, and I'm going to delete the period itself. And I'm leaving what was left above, the name of the project, and it says create a main class with that exact project name, and I hit finish. So now look at what happens. This file, hello world 4.java, is inside a folder still. It's still inside a folder, but the folder that it is inside is called default package. It's just a default folder. It's not saved inside any particular folder for this program. And in fact, if we want to look at what's inside that folder, let me drag this over. This is my downloads folder. Let's go back and forth and let's actually come to any one of these projects. So I'm going to click on Hello World 4. I'm going to right click on the actual where it says the coffee, the Java icon. I'm going to right click on Hello World 4, the project name. I'm going to click properties. It will give me my exact location of the project. You see this? So I'm going to actually highlight that exact thing. I'm going to hit copy and I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm going to go over to my Windows Explorer and I'm going to paste right here into the address, that address I copied. It'll take me right there. And in fact, above this, here's my 2290 Spring 23 folder. I click on Hello World 4 and here we are. I can come inside under the SRC folder, which is for my source packages, matching up with what you see right here, source packages. So I come to my SRC folder, and inside here I have Hello World 4.java matching up with this Hello World 4.java. Let's compare that now to the Hello World 3 project. So I come to Hello World 3A. I come to Hello World 3A. I have source packages, but then inside that source folder, right, I came to source. Inside source, now I have another folder called some folder that sounds uber important. I click that folder, and inside here I find my file Hello World 3A. And that will be the same for these other two projects above, Hello World and Hello World 2. If I click on either one of them and I look at this Hello World project, I come inside source, I have a Hello World folder, which is the package, and then inside here I have the actual Java file itself. And we compare that to this last one, Hello World 4 is the name of my project. Inside this folder, I have a source folder where I directly see the Java file I'm working on. There is no package folder used. That's what we're going to be using throughout the entirety of the semester. We will not be using packages. So anytime you make a new project, file, new project, come here and we type in Hello World 5, you need to immediately delete the period and anything to the left of the period. Have mercy on yourself, delete that, so you don't have up here the word package at all, right? If we come look at this original hello world.java, we have a package because it was inside this folder. We look at this hello world 2, we have .java, we have a package because this hello world 2.java was inside this folder. Same thing for hello world 3a, we have a package because it was inside this particular folder. Whereas this Hello World 4 and Hello World 5, there are no packages, right? Here's a package. Now there is no package because they are not inside a particular folder. They're just inside the default source directory. We come to the project folder, right? We come to the project folder. We then go to source and we see Hello World.4 directly. So some closing points here I want to cover. And that is, we want to talk about the name of the project versus the name of the file that's being created. So let's make a sixth one. Oh my gosh, we're at Hello World 6 now. Hello World 6. This right here is the name of the folder. It's the project name, and it's also the name of the folder that's about to be created. Right? We have Hello World through 1 through 5, or Hello World nothing, then 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the folder we're about to create. Now notice if I say create main class, what's going to happen, even if we want to delete the package, what's going on when I do that? Well, what's going on is NetBeans is going to make for you a file called Hello World. In this case, I'm looking at Hello World 5. But we're about to do it. It's going to have one called Hello World 6. And it's going to go ahead and put this content in the file. It's going to put public class Hello World 5. It's going to say public static void main string args. And it's going to put this little comment here for you that you can go delete and replace with your Hello World. Right? It's doing all of that for you. So file, new project, next. Hello World 6. I'm going to come delete what is to the left of the period as well as the period. So this is the project name, which is the folder name. Now this here, create main class, this does not need to be the same name as the folder name. In fact, I don't want to call the file Hello World 6. The file is just Hello World. So I'm going to call it Hello World. And look at what happens now. So here we have the project Hello World 6. We have the folder Hello World 6. We come inside this folder. We have a source package. That's this source package right here. And inside source, we will directly see our file Hello World because we are not using any package. And when we see this file and we double click on it, it would then open up, and this is exactly what we now have. Notice it is not called Hello World 6. And in fact, if I type that, notice that it's underlined in red, and there's a little error over here with a light, with a little light bulb. It says Hello World 6 is public, should be declared in a file named Hello World 6. That's kind of cryptic and confusing. You're like, what the heck does that even mean? I got to put the little confused icon. It's great. We'll talk more about that. But in short, whatever the name of your file is, it has to match this right here. Let me repeat. Whatever you put right here for public class, if I called this public class Bob, well, then your file over here needs to be bob.java. And in fact, watch when I allow Java to fix this for me. I'm going to click on the light bulb and it says rename file to bob.java. I say sure, why not? And now it renames the file to bob.java and all is well. I can come here, I can type hello world, I run this, and I get it working just fine. And now my file is called bob.java. Now, obviously Bob doesn't make sense. Let's go back to hello world. But once again, it doesn't like the fact that this has a different name than the file itself. It cannot be, it's not allowed. Whatever this is called after public class, whatever you call this, it has to match the name of the file. So I'm going to let NetBeans take care of this for me. Rename file to helloworld.java. That's now done. I hit Control S to save it. So the error light bulb goes away and now it's renamed. So the point of this was to demonstrate that there's a difference. We can make a distinction between the name of the project and the name of the class that's being created, right? So here we created a class called Hello World. Let's make another one. We're at number 7. Let's go. Number 7. Hello World 7. I'm going to delete the package with the period. And now I'm going to call this Hello World. Hello World, dear Lord. This is a long class name. That's the name of the main class that I'm creating. Finish. We'll check it out. Public class. Hello World, dear Lord, this is long class name. .java is the actual file name over here. It's the exact name .java. So when I come to my folder for the semester, I choose Hello World 7. I go to my source directory, my source folder, and I get this long file name. So we see the distinction between the project name and the name of the class being created. Your Java code has to be inside a file that is called .java, and that file has to have a class, and the name of that class must match the name of the file. In short, that hopefully is very clear. Let me come and close most of these projects. Let's close all of them. So I close all projects because let's have some mercy on NetBeans. Let's open one of the recent projects. Let's open Hello World 6. And here we are, just to clean this up some. And do that every now and then to close those projects. So we opened up Hello World 6. Let's add in a little Hello World here. Cool, that's working. Let's run this, should run quickly. Done, you see it down here, right? Cool, Hello World. What else? So what if I make Hello World, believe it or not, 8? Like, oh no, Hello World 8, how many more? Let's uncheck create main class and hit finish and see what that does. And you're going to see why we always are going to want to check that. Always. We're always going to want to check this. We're going to want to delete the package, but we're going to want to name this maybe something else, maybe call it HW for Hello World. But we're always going to want to check this in this class. But what if we didn't check it? What happens? Let's hit finish. So I get this new project called Hello World 8. I'm going to come to the folder, Hello World 8. I have this source folder, and when I go inside source folder, I got nothing inside there. Nothing, it's empty. Why? because NetBeans asked us when we made a new project. We'll make one more, Hello World 9. Hello World 9. NetBeans asked us, do you want me to make you a class for you? Do you want me to go ahead and make you that first initial file? And we'll say, sure, but don't put it in a package. Let's call it just Hello World, not Hello World 9. And we say, sure, NetBeans, please do make us that initial file. NetBeans makes for you this initial class file, which of course has the same name that you specified, and NetBeans goes ahead and puts in your first method. And we'll talk more about this, but every program in Java has to have a main method in order to launch the program. A method is like a function in Python. So knowing that you have to have a main method, that NetBeans says, you know what, let's go ahead and give you a main just to get you started, and we can come here and we can type in hello world and we're good to go. I can run it, all is well. But when I come back to this last one, Hello World 8 that I made, we see that there is nothing inside here. The folder's empty. And you're like, well, what do I do now? I forgot to check main class. Well, you could just come over here, delete this entire project, or just come to your folder on your hard drive and delete Hello World 8 from here. Just literally just delete the folder. So you can delete it from your file explorer. You can also come over here, right click and hit delete. Or if you say, no, but I want to know, in case I ever did this, instead of deleting it, how can I go make that Java file manually? In the same way that under Hello World 9, under the default package, we have this hello world.java. How do I do that right here under my source packages? It's super simple. You right click, you hit new, and we're going to simply choose Java class. And I'm going to call this Hello World, because now we're making that class that NetBeans offered to make for us. We're making it. Notice it's asking, do we want to specify a package, and we're not choosing anything. And it even says, we highly recommend you do not place Java classes in the default package. I got you, because they want good practice. They want good file structure. We're not using any meaningful file structure, because most of our projects will have one file, or later even 3, 4, 5 files, but that's it. So it's okay that we have that warning. I hit finish. Now I get this hello world.java. I get this garbage again because it's a different template than the one that we edited earlier. So I'll delete all those comments. And here we have a public class hello world. But notice what's different. The other one included a main method, and it included these comments from the template. So you can copy your comments out. Let's go copy these over. But even though we have a class, we don't even have a main method, because we didn't, NetBeans offered to make it for us, but we forgot to hit the check mark. So now we have to come in here and manually type public static void main string args. And now we can type hello world. And even then, let me hit save first. Let me hit save and then run. And now that I saved it, now it's asking, NetBeans is asking me, hey, is this the main class from which you're going to be launching your program and running methods? And my answer is yes. So I'm going to select, there's only one class here, so I select it, I hit OK. And now finally I can run it. You see, that's a bit of a headache in comparison to just file, new project. Which one are we on? Let's go. Let's go. We're on Hello World 10. So here, Hello World 10, delete the package. Let's call this final Hello World program. I hope so. And here we are. I think everything is hopefully very clear now. We have this class final Hello World program. It matches the name of the file. We have default package because there is no package folder we specified. But since we checked that check mark and made sure it was selected, NetBeans went ahead and made for us this file, it made for us this class, and it put in our starter main method for us. That's a long video to explain something that should otherwise be super simple, but it's worth making sure you watch through this and make sure it's super clear. As always, reach out if you have any questions. It has been a pleasure.